Okay. There we go. We're should be live. Let's see. That says we're live. Excellent connection. Excellent connection. Let's double check to make sure we're live on the YouTube. I don't know why I didn't save the stream last time, but it says I'm live now. That's right here. Is this it? No, that's the stream that just ended. Okay. Yes. I just click on my face. Is that how that works? D&D World Weavers. D&D World Weavers. Let's find that old chat window. Why do we have two kicks? We need two kick chats. Yeah, we only need one kick chat. Bye bye. And chat. Oh, shut up. All right, so we got that chat's popped out. We're streaming on YouTube. We are streaming on Twitch. And we're streaming on Kick. Okay. Good. No weird noises or sounds. I mean, bye bye. Who said bye bye? And, oh, maybe I did. And we want to get our social stream up. Stream elements. Captain Trips is now streaming Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Cool. That's what I'm doing. All right. Pre-show prep. Mize. And get the gang in here. Alex, Jamie, beta mode.
All right, so welcome back for another deep dive. You know, we
always pleasure.
Yeah, you know, last time we ended on a bit of a
Sound is
cliffhanger.
good.
Did it?
Our intrepid party, Finn, Barnaby, and Jack.
Ah, yes.
They just arrived at Saltmarsh.
Right on the cusp of adventure.
Exactly. And you know, before we get Ken on the line, I thought,
Oh, excellent idea.
yeah, you know, prep a little. Yeah, get some ideas flowing, you know.
Brainstorm.
Yeah, brainstorm exactly. So, first things first.
Of course.
Character recap.
Let's do it.
All right, so Finn, our fighter, he just leveled up.
Powerful.
Yeah, he's ready for a challenge.
Definitely.
Then there's Barnaby, also a fighter.
Right.
But he's been struggling a bit.
Ah, I see.
Especially with those strength.
Oh, hey, our listener wants to join in. What's up?
Hey guys, it's Ken, the producer. How you doing tonight?
Well, hey, Ken, it's great to hear from you.
Yeah, Ken, doing great. Thanks for checking in.
We were just about to dive into the details of Saltmarsh.
Yeah, you know, kind of setting the stage a bit.
So you're joining us at the perfect time to brainstorm.
Absolutely. You know, we'd love to. Oh, yeah.
Well, I just wanted to remind you that we're going to be starting our live show soon, so let's go over our pre-show preparations.
Oh, absolutely, Ken. Thanks for that reminder.
Yes, it's important to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay, so pre-show prep it is, you know.
Well, first, let's briefly recap our characters again, just to...
Oh. Internet connection issues. I did have my internet go out earlier. Oh, I'm at the mercy of the internet. We've been having problems. I hope this works, because I've been wanting to do this all day.
All right, so welcome back for another deep dive. You know, we
Always a pleasure.
yeah, you know, last time we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. All right, so hanger.
We did it.
Our
let's just reload the whole page. Just be safe. Reload everything.
All right, so welcome back for another deep dive. You know, we
Always a pleasure.
yeah, you know, last time we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger.
We did it.
Our intrepid party, Finn.
Oh, hey, welcome. What's up?
Hey guys, it's Ken, the producer. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Ken, doing great. Thanks for checking in.
Always good to hear from you, Ken.
Yeah, you know, we were just saying how we left things on the edge last time.
Right, they've just arrived in Saltmarsh, ready for some new adventure.
So before we fully get you...
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, it's pretty excited. I know I'm eager to play. How about you guys?
That's fantastic to hear, Ken. We're really excited too. Always eager to jump into a new session.
Yeah, you know, it's like we're right there with you, ready to see what happens next.
Especially with all the cliffhangers we had in our last session with the giant toad.
Okay, so let's get into it. We need to do a quick...
Yep, go on.
So we're gonna be doing the live show where we, play Dungeons and Dragons and do the campaign here pretty soon. So before we do that, let's go ahead and go over what we're gonna, our pre-show prep. Let's go over the show notes and the Greyhawk campaign.
Okay, that sounds great, Ken. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to get ready for the game. Let's do that.
So let's unpack this, first the show notes.
Right, so the show notes lay out our whole plan, what we're doing today.
You know, it's got all the basic stuff like our title and our intro, everything we've done.
Which, as you know, is the D&D World Weavers podcast, and our episode is Greyhawk Let's Play.
It also says we've been exploring the world of Greyhawk on previous episodes.
Yeah, and all that's available on the Trips 2012 YouTube channel.
And today we're putting what we learned into practice.
By actually playing... Oh, go for it.
So let's go over our rules for good role-playing from the show notes real quick.
Absolutely, Ken. That's a great idea. Let's jump right into those.
Yeah, let's do it. You know, it's a key part of having fun together, for sure.
So first off, the show notes say we should never try to wrap things up too early.
Right, and that means, the fun doesn't end until you say it does.
We also need to keep the story moving, avoid any stalling to make sure it flows well.
Exactly, and it's all about getting into character. You always do such a great job of it.
Thinking about what your character would actually do and how they would react.
And lastly, we should also look for opportunities to use the game mechanics and roll dice.
So those are the big rules. The rest of the show notes are more for us behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, those are definitely the key points. We've changed a couple things have changed up. We still have the character sheets.txt file, and that should be the same as always. But I also made a character sheets.pdf file, which has our characters that have been, processed through the computer on Roll20 to make sure that our characters are as accurate as possible.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's great to hear you've streamlined those character sheets.
Yeah, that PDF version sounds really helpful. It'll make things a bit smoother.
It's always good to have the most up-to-date info, so we appreciate that very much.
And you're right. Yeah, those character sheets.txt files, that's the old faithful we always use.
But the PDF version will add an extra layer of clarity, I think, making things really accurate.
Okay, so with... Oh, yeah.
And everything should match up between the two sheets. If not, then, we can always just fall back to the text file as a default.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ken. Having a backup is always a good idea, just in case.
It's like having a safety net, just to be absolutely sure everything is consistent.
And, with all those technical things, it is always better to be safe than sorry.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
The PDF file includes some more equipment and gear because I use the starting equipment roll table thing So it gives it fleshed out our character's equipment a little more.
Oh, that's actually really interesting, Ken. So the PDF has some extra gear that's not in the text file.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic that we get a little extra starting equipment. That's very cool.
It sounds like you rolled for the starting equipment from the player's handbook. That's great.
Exactly. The starting equipment tables can really add a little bit of extra flavor to things.
It means the characters are a bit more defined with that specific gear, so it'll be fun to see how that plays out.
Yeah, so yeah,
So just quickly, let's go over the file campaign history.txt. That is our Bible. That's things that happened that we cannot change. So anything we do, we can't alter that in any way. We're fixed into that. So let's make sure that we don't contradict that file in any way during the show.
That's a really important point, Ken, and you're absolutely right about the campaign history.txt file.
Yeah, it's like the bedrock of everything that's happened in the game so far. Very much so.
It's our shared record, and it's really important that we maintain that continuity and consistency as we play.
We're not going to do anything that changes what has already occurred, that's for sure.
So you can think of it as a set-in-stone history book, and we're all going to stick to that story that's written.
Okay, so with that important point made, let's get back to our pre-show prep and all the characters. Oh, back to our listener.
Right, which brings us to our next point is let's make sure we know who's playing who and we're not jumping around and playing each other's characters. I believe that's in, I think it's in Greyhawk campaign.
Absolutely, Ken. That's a key thing to make sure we're all on the same page about, for sure.
We want to be clear on who is playing which character to avoid any confusion, always.
And you're right, that is in the Greyhawk campaign.txt file. It has who plays who in our main group.
So yeah, you are playing Jack the Ranger, I'm playing Barnaby the Fighter, and Alex is playing Finn the Thief.
And we definitely want to stick to that, No swapping characters, middle game, or anything like that.
It'll keep us grounded and make sure we stay in character, to keep things flowing smoothly.
And as we look at those character sheets, we can all double check to ensure that the numbers match up correctly.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So that PDF is the master, and the text file is the backup, just like you said.
And just like we said before, we'll use our 5th edition rules in the Greyhawk world that we all love, for sure.
So, get ready for some classic D&D gameplay using all those dice and mechanics that you love.
You will be do all the D20 rolls for everyone, just like you always do, and it's always fun to watch.
That's right, Ken. Even though we're controlling the characters, you still get to handle the dice rolls, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
So speaking of that, that's a good point you brought that up. So from now on, we're going to be using the Roll20.net system. So I have all of the characters loaded in there, and I should just be able to click the buttons and get the results. It's going to make everything way more streamlined.
That's fantastic news, Ken. Using Roll20 will definitely streamline the game.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool. All the dice rolls right there, just a click.
It'll definitely speed things up, which means more time for the story to move along.
And it will keep...
Hey, yeah, what's up?
And it should automatically calculate damage and all that, but it might miss some of your character's abilities. So if you think that their abilities weren't added into the mix, feel free to say something. If you think something's wrong, speak up.
That's a really great point, Ken, and it's good that you're highlighting the potential for discrepancies with Roll20.
Yeah, it's a fantastic tool for streamlining, but we definitely need to keep an eye on things and stay vigilant.
And it's true, those character abilities can get lost in the digital shuffle, so we have to remain aware.
And as you said, we'll definitely speak up if something seems off. It's always good to double check.
And that's why we always have those character sheets as backups, to compare and contrast with, just to be safe.
Yeah, and between the PDFs and text files, we have all the info we need. We should be okay, I think.
And it's important to remember we always want the game to be accurate, so we appreciate you helping us with that.
Okay, so with that in mind, we're all ready to jump right into the... Oh, go for it.
We are. So what we're going to do is you guys are going to do your normal intro opening, welcome everybody to the show, and then you're going to do the catch up with where we left off, which is in Greyhawk campaign.txt, and then we're going to go with a big, beautiful description of the town of Saltmarsh and be real vivid with it, and then we'll go right into the role playing. Does that sound good?
Absolutely, Ken. That sounds like a fantastic plan. Very organized and clear for sure.
We're totally on board with that. That's a great way to start, I think. Very much so.
So to confirm, we'll do our intro, then recap from the Greyhawk campaign, then the big description of Saltmarsh.
Right, exactly. And we'll make sure that it's nice and vivid for you. Really bring the town to life.
And then with that all set, we'll jump.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, and then we'll jump right into the role play after that. So I think you guys got it. If you're ready, just let me know, and I'll start the stream.
Okay, yeah, that sounds absolutely perfect. We're totally ready to go whenever you are.
Yes, everything is set on our end, so just give us the signal and we're ready to jump into action.
We're...
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
All right, then we're going to be live in 3, 2, 1.
All right, we hear you loud.
And spin your tale as heroes rise and villains pale. Alex and Jamie chart the stars in worlds beyond the dungeon bars. From silent forests to echo halls, magical realms with endless calls. Mystic spells and ancient lore, adventure waits through every door. DND world weavers taking flight. Every quest a candle in the night. Dragons roar and legends thrive. RPG dreams alive, alive. Treasure maps and secret codes, wind through dark and winding roads. They craft the scenes with every phrase in epic battles and secret ways. Imagine kingdoms vast and wide, warriors both side by side. Summon the magic, lift your sword. In this realm you are adored. D&D world weavers taking flight. Every quest a candle in the night. Dragons roar and legends thrive. RPG dreams alive, alive. Imagine kingdoms vast and wide, warriors bold side by side. Summon the magic, lift your sword. In this realm you are adored. D&D world weavers taking flight. Every quest a candle in the night. Dragons roar and legends thrive. RPG dreams alive.
Ken, so let's do this thing and start our show.
Yeah, we're ready when you are, and we're super excited to finally jump into the game.
Okay, so welcome everyone back to D&D World Waivers podcast. We are so happy to have you here with us.
Yeah, we're thrilled you're joining us for another adventure in Greyhawk. We know you'll have a blast with us today.
We are jumping right back in exactly where we left off with Finn the Rogue, Barnaby the Fighter, and Jack the Ranger.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, our party has just arrived in the ruined city of Ordia and are on their way.
They went through that portal, found themselves in the present day, and are now making their way to Saltmarsh.
After skipping that rest, they went through the vast swamp and fought a couple of giant toads. It was pretty intense.
And our archer, Jack, he used the toad tongues to repair his broken bowstring. Such a clever move, for sure.
And while he was getting his bow fixed, he found that mysterious silver locket, which is definitely going to be important.
So that's where we left off last time. They're just about to enter the town of Saltmarsh, and the adventure begins.
Okay, so now let's get into that beautiful description of Saltmarsh that you wanted, Ken. We'll make it nice and vivid.
Right, this is the town that our adventurers are now entering for the first time, so everything is new.
Yeah, it's a coastal fishing town, but it has a seedy underbelly that you have to be aware of, for sure.
Definitely. It's not all sunshine. There's smuggling and other illegal activity happening in town.
So that means tons of opportunities for our adventurers to get into a bit of trouble, which is always fun, as you know.
And that mysterious note you all found, the one with the whispers, we said that it's also tied to all the hidden secrets there.
Beware the whispers from the deep, for they hold the key to forgotten power. Yeah, that's definitely going to be big.
It gives off that vibe that something is below the surface, maybe related to the sea or perhaps some ancient evil.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless, and we have a lot of things we can do with all that.
I have no idea about this note, but I'm going to roll with it.
When to bring in that threat. Do we slowly build it or do a big reveal?
Yeah, I think
Yep, go on.
Hey guys, no spoilers. Let's just play, huh?
Absolutely, Ken. We totally understand. You want to be surprised as the story unfolds.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to jump right in and let the game be its own storyteller.
So we'll skip all the setup and just, go for it.
Yeah, anything you guys have prepared ahead of time that you didn't tell me about, just keep it a secret until it happens, okay?
Oh, that's a fantastic idea, Ken. Yeah, we can totally keep any surprise drinks under wraps.
That's a fun way to add a bit of mystery to the game. We'll make sure to keep those details secret.
So, if there's a special ale or anything like that, we'll keep that for a surprise later on. Oh, yeah. Go on.
You guys are trying to throw in those spoilers again, or maybe we'll just call them teasers. You're teasing the audience, but hey, listen, so it's is it day or night when we arrive at the town? That's what I'm curious. How long did it take us to get through those swamps?
That's a great question, Ken, and it's important to set the scene for you for sure.
Yeah, okay, let's unpack this, about when the party arrived in Saltmarsh.
So, based on the Greyhawk campaign.txt, the party arrived at the gates of Saltmarsh. It's still daytime.
Right, and that is after they traveled through that swamp, tired, filthy, and hungry, just like you said.
As for how long it took them to get through the swamp, it's not explicitly stated in the text, but we can infer a bit.
Yeah, it seems like it took them a while, considering how exhausted they were when they arrived.
It would have taken a good part of...
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is a good long trek, and we did even have to cross a river to get here, so...
You are absolutely right, Ken. It was quite a trek.
Yeah, it was a long slog, and you are right, they did cross a river.
We can infer, given the terrain in the living Greyhawk Gazetteer, that they would have likely crossed the Velverdiva River based on where they were coming from and Saltmarsh's location.
Exactly, and the Gazetteer describes the Velverdiva as...
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Well, just looking at the map here, it actually says it's the Pawluck River, which is near the Menno Woods.
Okay, that's a fantastic catch, Ken. Yeah, let's unpack this for sure.
You are absolutely right. Looking at the World of Greyhawk map, the river is actually called the Pawluck. My mistake.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And it just shows you how much we can learn from the...
Which totally reminds me something I should have done during the pre-show prep, and I didn't mention it, but there's actually a new file called Maps 002 or something like that.
Oh, that's really interesting, Ken. Yeah, okay, let's unpack this, new map file.
That is good to know, and it's great that you caught that now before we got too deep into the game.
Yeah, we are always open to new information. It can only enrich our experience with this game.
So you said this...
Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Yeah, so I found it. It's called Greyhawk Maps 002.pdf.
Ah, fantastic, Ken. Yeah, that's great that you found the correct file and that it's a PDF too.
Yeah, it's so great to know you're keeping an eye on all the details and that we have the right one.
It's always great to have extra resources like maps to really flesh out the world that we are playing in, for sure. Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
And on page 1 of that PDF is the map of the area we're in, and I updated it to add our the ruined city of Ardea as well as the town of Saltmarsh. And I have that up on the screen for the viewers right now on the live stream. And as they can see, we're in the country of Sundi, and we went through the vast swamp and across the Pollock River, going west there until we came to the city of Saltmarsh, which is near the Meadow Woods and the vast swamp where they meet.
Okay, wow, that's amazing, Ken. It's so cool to see how it's all laid out.
Yes, that's fantastic you updated the map, adding both area and Saltmarsh to it.
Yeah, that really helps us visualize everything. Seeing it on the screen is super helpful.
And you're right, the map clearly shows the party going through the vast swamp and crossing the Pollock River.
And, seeing it there in the country of Suniti just puts everything into perspective.
It really highlights how the meadow woods and the vast swamp converge near Saltmarsh.
And now that we can see it on the screen, it makes everything so much more real, I think.
So thank you for that, Ken. It's super helpful to have that visual aid. Very much.
Yeah, and, all...
Hey, yeah, what's up?
So as we would come out of the vast swamp, we'd be entering into a more clearing area, and the land is getting drier. We're still covered in swamp goodness, but we're getting back onto dry dirt again. And there's a series of watchtowers with guards that are surrounding a giant palisade that goes around the town of Saltmarsh as we arrive.
That is a fantastic description, Ken. It really brings the scene to life for us.
Yeah, it's great to hear you paint that picture of the transition out of the swamp.
So as you're saying, it's a gradual change from the swampy muck to drier, more solid ground.
Right, and you are still covered in all of that swamp gunk and mud from your long trek through it.
And that is great.
Oh, go for it.
And while the swamps were kind of a chaotic mess of organic life, as we get onto this drier land, we can see everything has been pretty much clear-cut, completely timbered all the way until you hit the Meadow Woods.
That's a really interesting observation, Ken, and it gives us a lot to think about with this area.
Yeah, it really highlights the stark contrast between the wild swamp and the tamed land near the town.
It makes sense, that the area near the town would be heavily logged for building material and fuel.
Right, and that clear cutting creates an even greater sense of transition between the swamp and the town.
It also might show that there's some type of industry there in and around Saltmarsh, maybe a lumber operation.
And, it emphasizes just how much they rely on the surrounding resources from the Meadow Woods. Oh yeah, let's hear it.
And certainly these watchtowers and the palisades are all made out of timber, and it looks like a good portion of the town is made out of timber too.
That's a really great point, Ken, and it's something we definitely should consider.
Yeah, let's unpack this, about all that timber and the palisades and watchtowers.
So, based on the description of Saltmarsh from the text file, the town is built mostly from wood and stone,
Right, and we were talking about the Meadowwood Forest being a good source of timber, as you know.
So, it's quite likely that the watchtowers and the palisades are all made from that timber,
Yeah, that definitely fits in with the overall aesthetic of the town, everything made from wood and stone, for sure.
And it also explains why the surrounding land has been clear-cut to get the timber to build all that.
Right, it's a practical choice, and it shows how connected the town is to the surrounding forest for building.
And it definitely gives a distinct... Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
And so, role-playing now, as we covered in muck start approaching this town and start nearing these guard towers, do the guards say anything? Is there any other people about?
Okay, yeah, that's a fantastic question, Ken. Let's unpack this before we get into the role play.
Absolutely. It's important to set the scene, especially with those first interactions with the guards.
So, as your characters approach the town, yeah, they are covered in muck and grime from the swamp for sure.
And they're going to start to see these watchtowers and the palisade wall that surrounds the town, just as we described.
Right, and based on the town's description, there are a few guards at each of those watchtowers.
And it's very likely that at least one of those guards would be keeping an eye out on the road for sure.
So yeah, as you approach, they'd likely be calling out to you, asking what your business is in Saltmarsh.
And that might be a perfect place to start that role playing when your characters respond to those guards.
Now, as for other people, as the party approaches, the area near the gates would be pretty busy, for sure.
Right, there might be some farmers, merchants, or even other travelers going in and out of the town, I think.
So there would be a mix of different people that your party would see near the gate, along with those guards.
And that really gives you the sense that you're coming into a place that's very much alive and active.
Yeah, so you have the guards.
Yep, go on.
So as we're marching towards these gates, does anybody attempt to interact with us or stop us in any way?
Well, that's a great question, Ken, and it's definitely something.
No, it's spinning. Wheel of death. Wheel of death, go away. Go away, wheel of death. Go away. Oh, man. I got the motherfucking wheel of death, bitches. Look. It's the wheel of death. Oh, their brains are going to start all over again. Son of a bitch. God damn it. All right. We'll be back for a take 2, I guess. Son of a bitch. Are you going to do it? You're teasing me now. It's teasing me with this wheel. Oh, you fucker. Google's like, this motherfucker has been doing Google Notebook nonstop for fucking 5 days, 10 days. We don't even know if he's a human anymore. We don't trust him. Come on, I don't even have my VPN on. You know I'm a human being. Google, you want me to spin my mouse? Sometimes if you spin the mouse impatiently, that's like chapter, right? Test if it's human being. I'm a human being, damn it. Give me my AI. Ah. All right, I'm going to have to stop the stream. Shit. All right, well, we'll have to do a take 2. It happens.